You know, for so many farmers, a good harvest isn't just a job, it's absolutely everything. But if you're farming upland rice, you know all too well that success is never ever guaranteed. Today we're going to break down two of the most powerful steps you can take to really give yourself an edge, choosing the right seeds and then giving them the best possible start.
Rice is, it's the lifeblood of our nation. Just take a look at this map. Every single one of those tiny dots represents a massive area of cultivation. It's incredible. But for millions of farmers in those upland, rain-fed areas, the harvest is completely at the mercy of the monsoon. It's a story of uncertainty that, let's be honest, we all know too well. So, the big question is, how do we fight back against all that uncertainty? Well, we're going to tackle this with a clear game plan. First, we'll get right into the specific challenges of upland farming. Then, we're going to pivot to the solution, starting with the seed itself, how to pick the right variety, and how to give it a protective shield through treatment. We'll walk through the super simple method for that, and then at the end, we'll wrap it all up with a handy checklist.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about the reality on the ground. Because if you want to solve a problem, you've got to understand it, right? For upland rice farmers, the challenges are huge, and they're all connected to each other.
I want you to just pause and think about this for a second. How many times have you found yourself looking up at the sky, just hoping for rain that either comes too late or sometimes not at all? This one thing, the total unpredictability of water, is really the central challenge that defines upland farming.
Now this slide here, this gets to the very heart of the problem. See, it's not just about how much rain you get over the whole season. Look at those gaps. Even smack in the middle of the monsoon, you can get these long dry spells. And those periods of drought stress, that's exactly what can completely wipe out a young rice crop.
And that drought stress, well, it just opens the door to a whole bunch of other problems. The soil in these areas is often pretty poor in nutrients. Weeds go into overdrive, sometimes causing almost a total loss of the crop. And of course, a stressed plant is a weak plant, which makes it a super easy target for diseases like blast and brown spot. It's like a domino effect, and it all kicks off with a lack of water.
So yeah, the challenges are serious, no doubt about it. But the good news, and this is really good news, is that the solution is totally within our control. We're about to shift our focus away from the problems out in the field to the preparations we can make before the season even kicks off. This right here, this is probably the most important message I want you to walk away with today. Your success isn't just about the hard work you put in during the growing season. It actually starts with the decisions you're making right now. Preparation is absolutely everything. And that preparation, it really just boils down to two simple but incredibly powerful actions. First, choosing the right seed for your specific conditions. And second, treating that seed to give it the absolute best start in life. These two steps, they're the foundation of a successful upland harvest.
All right, let's dig into the first part of our solution, selecting the right variety. Because let me tell you, not all rice seeds are created equal, especially when you're talking about the tough conditions of upland farming.
So here's the bottom line. If your number one challenge is unpredictable rain, then your first line of defense has to be a seed that can handle it. Drought resistance isn't just some nice bonus feature. It is the single most essential trait you should be looking for, period. And here are some fantastic options that are available. These aren't just names on a list, these are proven fighters. You've got N22, which is known for maturing early and its tolerance to dry spells. There's SUTRA, which does really well in rain-fed conditions. And you have traditional hardy varieties like Dular and Brown Gora. Choosing a certified drought-tolerant seed is honestly the first and smartest investment you can make in your crop.
Okay, so you've picked out your champion seed. Awesome. Now, how do we make it even stronger? This brings us to the second part of our solution, seed treatment. I want you to think of this as giving your seeds a suit of armor before sending them into battle.
Now, the scientific term for this is seed priming, but you might know it as bij upchar. It might sound a little complex, but the idea behind it is actually very, very simple. All we're doing is waking the seed up by soaking it, getting all of its internal machinery ready to grow, and then carefully drying it out again right before we sow it.
This is honestly the best way to think about it. You're giving the seed what we call a suraksha kavach, a protective shield. It's kind of like giving a runner a head start in a race. That seed is already primed and ready to just burst into life the second it hits the soil.
And the difference it makes, oh, it's like night and day. An untreated seed, it comes up slowly, unevenly. But a prime seed, it just pops out of the ground faster and way more uniformly. This gives you a stronger, more vigorous seedling that is so much better equipped to handle those early dry spells we talked about. And the end result? A much higher potential for a great final yield.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like something that requires special equipment or a bunch of chemicals, but it doesn't, not at all. Let's walk through just how simple and accessible this method is for every single farmer out there. Okay, here's the step-by-step. First, you always want to start with clean, high-quality seeds of one of those drought-tolerant varieties. Second, soak them in clean water for about 10 to 12 hours. Third is the treatment. Soak them in a solution of beneficial biofungicides or other bioagents. Fourth, and this step is super important, dry the seeds completely, but do it in the shade. Direct sun can actually damage the awakened embryo inside, so a slow drying process is key. Once they feel just like they did before you soaked them, that's it. Your seeds are primed and ready to go. And here's why using these bioagents or plant growth promoting bacteria is so important. It's not just about protecting the seed for this one season, it's about protecting your soil for the long term. This approach is cheaper, it's way safer for the environment, and it helps you build a healthier farm for generations to come. It's a sustainable strategy that just keeps paying you back year after year. Phew! Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's bring it all together into one simple, clear summary that you can use as your guide for this upcoming season. Here it is, your checklist for success. You might even want to take a quick screenshot of this. A couple of pro tips: make sure the maturity time of your variety lines up with your area's rainfall patterns. And remember, because these primed seeds grow faster, you've got to be ready to manage weeds early. The do's are simple. Always use certified, drought-tolerant seeds. Always treat them before sowing. And prepare your land well to hold on to every single drop of moisture. And the don'ts are just as important. Avoid using mystery seeds from last year's harvest without treating them. And be careful not to overdo it with lime on acidic soils.
So I'll leave you with this one thought. These aren't huge, expensive changes we're talking about. They're actually small adjustments in how you begin your season. But by changing the start, by focusing on the right seed and the right treatment, what's the real potential for your harvest? How much more could you actually bring home?
The power to get a better yield is right there in your hands. And it starts today, long before the first rains of the monsoon even arrive.